AI is becoming a much more effective and destructive weapon on the battlefield in Ukraine, especially when it comes to making drones way better at actually hitting their targets. Today, we're going to talk about why and the moral question of when a machine will make the kill, no kill decision. I'm Evan Goldstein. I'm a licensed professional engineer and a data scientist. I'm making the AI Capitalist channel to keep you armed in the struggle for AI supremacy. According to some buzz from Time magazine and the UK military site, Ukraine's drones have seen their hit rate jump from under 50% in 2023 to around 80% this year. And that's all thanks to AI. This lead is mostly credited to tech from Palantir, a US-based company that Time calls the AI arms dealer of the 21st century. One cool example is the Sacker reconnaissance drone, which has Palantir's AI tech built right into the drone. The drone can pick out everything from soldiers to tanks all on its own, and sends that information back to its team to decide when and how to strike. The real kicker is that this AI can learn, so Ukrainian operators can keep training the software. The word is that Sacker can now spot Russian troops just by recognizing their uniforms, gear, and even how they move after watching vast numbers of videos of them in action. For those who have lived in other countries with multiple nationalities living together, as I have, you see this to be true. You can have two people standing next to each other who might look the same, but then when you set the picture into motion, you see them moving, the body language, everything is completely different. Now these drones are able to make that differentiation from hundreds of feet up in the air. So with a range of 10 kilometers, the SAC uses an internal guidance system that doesn't need GPS, which makes it a lot harder for the Russians to jam. Over the last year, electronic warfare has surged and it messes with drone hit rates. Reports have showed that new UAV pilots can only manage a hit rate at about 10%. Even seasoned pros are only hitting about 50% of the time. But now, with Palantir's AI powering almost all of Ukraine's drones aimed at artillery, they're boosting that success rate to the 80% mark. And if you think this episode hits the mark, I would urge you to hit the like button. Hitting like lets me know I'm making the content you want to see and help spread that content to others. Palantir's software takes all sorts of data from different sources, think like human intel, drones, radar, thermal imaging, and more, to track movements and pinpoint artillery fire. Then the AI breaks all this down and gives the commanders different targeting options to go after. What these AI-enhanced drones are able to do is to help Ukraine take on Russia's larger numbers and their more powerful weapon systems, proving that a smaller nation can still stand up against a larger power. But there are ethical concerns here, of course. We're talking about killing people, right? How could ethics be involved? So what happens to the AI in terms of their ability to recognize Russian troops based on their movements? Can it differentiate between Russian soldiers and civilians? The Ukrainian and Western forces might take that into account before actually pulling the trigger, but it looks like the Russians might not play by the same rules. There's a worry about giving the drones too much freedom. The fear is that AI might miss some of the battlefield's subtle nuances that the human could pick up on, leading to deadly mistakes, especially since both sides use similar gear and weapons. But still, the AI wave isn't stopping anytime soon, and Ukraine needs to keep pushing forward to stay strong in the new tech race. Future warfare might be as much about algorithms as it is about actual tanks and armor. In the United States, there's a policy that every lethal system will have a human being in the loop making the final decision. What that means is changing as AI systems are fighting AI systems. You have to be so fast on the draw that oftentimes that just means flipping a switch. If I fill the UAV with gas and send it on its way, technically I was the kill switch, right? I'm not really. I think you're going to see the borders pushed more in cases like Ukraine or like the other major war going on. We won't use the actual pronunciation since we won't use the English pronunciation since the YouTube gods will punish us for that and suppress the content. So we'll just call it Yisrael. In that war, Israel is also using autonomous drone systems. And what the two battles have in common is this vast imbalance of numbers. The number of countries currently waging jihad against the population of these people in these countries is several orders of magnitude larger than the actual number of people living in Israel. So you're talking a 10-to-1 advantage by the attacker. There are just less people to be making these decisions, and those who are combat trained are out in the field fighting. So I think you're going to see more and more delegation of the kill, no kill decision to machine intelligence in cases where the defender is vastly outnumbered in